Hello and welcome to the UK Lebanon Tech Hub podcast. Today we're sitting down with Constantin Salameh to discuss how choosing an investor for your startup is exactly like choosing a life partner. Hello Constantin.
Hello George.
It's a pleasure having you here and thank you very much for that talk you just gave us. That was enlightening and we discussed the journey from idea to investment. And I'd like to get back to a few points which you talked about. A very interesting analogy you gave during the talk is how close it is to choose an investor to choosing a life partner. Can you please tell us more about this?
When you're getting an investor on board to fund your company, this person could stay, or this company would stay for a minimum of 5 to 7 years. It might be even 15 years or longer. So the life is a very long life. So you need to make sure that your values are similar to the values of this investor. The same way you will look at the values of your spouse or your soulmate to be similar to yours. You should look at making you have similar dreams. What you're trying to achieve is similar, because if the dreams are different, this could end up creating problem in the relationship. So this is why I use this analogy, because I believe in terms of the values, in terms of the dreams, in terms of the way you resolve problem together, so all the conflict management, all these areas, because problems will happen, and the way you go around them is quite important in ensuring that you have not only a great soulmate or partner, but also a great investment partner.
Right. Just like when you're choosing a life partner, you have questions, you have question marks on the long run, and you discussed in length the due diligence that the entrepreneur should conduct on his investor more than the other way around. So what should the entrepreneur be looking for, and what are the questions he should be asking?
Yeah, as you rightly said, it's a lot of the time you have the due diligence being one way, i.e. the investor is spending a lot of time with the company, understanding the management team, understanding the shareholding structure. But very few times would you have the other way around. So I strongly encourage potential entrepreneurs who are looking for investors to ask similar sort of questions. So the one that are the most obvious one is find out, how is this investor going to help you? Mm-hmm. What are his competencies areas that could help you address the pain point that you are facing as an investor? So this would be one set of questions. The second is find out a bit about the values that this investor has. And are they aligned with your own values? Are the way you look at the problem similar? Are the way you look at your vision in terms of what you want to do with the organization similar to what his vision is of your organization? This is quite important. But I would also look at more specific questions. Has this investor invested in the past? What sort of track record he or she has? How many companies has he invested? Are these companies which are similar to the sort of companies that you have? Is he able to add value? You could find out, because it's a very small world here in Lebanon. They will know what is the value that an investor would bring in. So these are, what sort of exit did he exit from any? Yeah. And if he exited, was it a successful exit, or was it normally an exit that was poorly planned? So all these questions would be among a long list of questions that the entrepreneur should be asking from an investor. But at the end of the day, it's really, do you trust the person? Do you feel that you could go through together in terms of tough decisions, and you have this level of understanding, of mutual trust that will help you grow together and learn from each other?
Now, just like in a couple, sometimes one of the two has to let go of something. You talked about the importance for the entrepreneurs to sometimes let go of his position of CEO or his title to make way for a better talent to take place.
The same way that at one point in time you become parents, and then you have to let go of your children, you have to do the same thing with your company. But there is the emotional link is so strong, then most of these entrepreneurs would never think of it, and even if they think of it, they're not willing to let go. But at one point in time, although the entrepreneur could be the best CEO for a company at point X, maybe at point X plus 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, we need a completely different skill set than the entrepreneurship skill set would have. It's a big leap of faith to be able for the entrepreneur to let go and to give the authorities, the CEO, to somebody else that is being hired. Now, it doesn't mean that he's letting go of the company, because he's still an important shareholder. He might be the majority shareholder. He might still be on the board of these companies and continue as a chairman or as a member of the executive committee. So this letting go is for me a sign of maturity, on behalf of the entrepreneur to realize what are his limits in terms of the competencies that he could bring in, and to realize that maybe the sort of skill set that is needed now is different than what he had when he started up this company. And this is a strong leap of faith, but it shows that you have a mature and you have a founder that really has the interest of his company and the acceleration of the value creation potential of his company on this.